Beyond the bounding travelers, behind the final curtain, welcome to the Crux chasm. Today marks the end of a long journey, though, as the crux is cyclical, it has already started anew. I was here before, as were you. I am Spater, and I am your honored host. The fair folk are a capricious lot, prone to lavishing affection, riches, or favor onto their chosen victim, and just as quickly they become ravenous, rending flesh and mind alike. One such victim's story begins thusly. On a stony plain, on a wind-swept, rain-scarred isle to the west of the land of the Brightons, there lived a young woman. Davisa she was called, meaning dark beauty. She lived alone in a small hovel with only the trees for company. It was Candlemas, that day on which candles are purified. 4 new stout candles she gathered, placing them reverently in an old wicker basket. With this, her shawl, and a heavy blackthorn cane, she set out into the wind. Presently she came across the remains of a tree. The pathetic thing was little more than a stump, its few branches grasping at the air like a drowning man. As she made to pass it, a voice spoke out, "Please, help me." Startled, Davisa stepped back, brandishing her cane at the stump. "Who are you, then? Speak," she asked, peering at the stump. "Please, only a traveler. I have fallen into this hole," the voice replied. It was a strange voice, not like a man's, nor a woman's, nor a child's. Some unknown quality made it ring in the young woman's ears. It drew her. "And who am I to care? You may be a liar, out to rob or murder me?" Though, even in saying, Davisa took a halting step closer to the tree. "I assure you, I am not. I am only unlucky. Please, you must help." Although something wormed at the back of her brain, she placed her basket on the ground and approached. It was a strange thing. A hole was now clearly visible in the tree, large enough that could easily swallow a man whole, and yet nothing but darkness. In the pale light of the sun, no shape was illuminated, no sight within, as if the hole repelled the very light itself. With great caution, Davisa leant over the abyss. Though again, no shapes could she discern, there was something. 2 gleams in the dark, 2 eyes. A great fear took hold of her. Every compulsion in her body was screaming at her to flee, and flee she almost did. Yet, "Please, you need only give me your hand that I may reach safety." Davisa shook her head. "And why, tell me, why would I do that? I cannot even see you, and am yet to know your intentions. Who are you exactly?" I am an unlucky traveler, miss, but you may call me Crux." "Stranger, You must have stranger parents. Who would ever name their child Hunger? Mine would, friend. But please, lend me your hand. I think I shall not. You put me ill at ease, Uckrus. And as she turned away from the hole, something hit her on the back. Devisa swung out in anger with her blackthorn, dealing only minor injury to the air, and at her feet lay a small leather pouch. Cautiously, she picked it up, drawing it open. Her eyes widened. A solitary gold coin stared balefully at her from within. Not even silver. Gold. The voice called out again. Please. Your hand, and even more of those shall be your reward. The fear again. That worming fear. But, as with all human hearts, greed is often greater than sense. Again she approached the tree. The sun now was brighter still, and the hole yet darker. The edges seemed to sharpen. Taking a tallow candle from her basket, Devisa struck a match. Though it was not yet purified, it would be useful, and do no harm. No harm. Holding the candle aloft in one hand, and the blackthorn tightly in the other, she stepped up to the edge. The wind grew cold, and a sharp gust blew at her hair. Down in the hole, darkness, and two eyes. Please, your hand, the voice called, pleading. Here. Grab onto my stick instead, friend. Grab on, Devisa said, lowering the blackthorn into the hole. The voice made no response. Devisa placed the candle beside the tree and held the cane with both hands, bracing herself against the earth. She leant over the hole as far as she would dare, holding the stick into the darkness. Friend? There was no voice. There was no time to let go of the blackthorn. Devisa was pulled forward inexorably into the darkness. All she saw were those two terrible pinpricks of light, now blazing a multitude of colors, and then darkness, or some semblance of this. She looked around in shock. She could see only her own self, her body. Her heart felt about to burst, her breath ragged. Thank you. It was the voice of Uckrus. Of his terrible eyes, nothing. Your hand? Devisa looked down at her right hand. In its place was a withered stump. She cried out in agony, collapsing to her knees, weeping. Your reward. Again, the voice of Uckrus, but fainter and fainter. At her feet lay 3 gold coins and an unlit candle. She called out wordlessly for Uckrus. She screamed, and then was alone. I do not know if there is a moral to this tale. Perhaps not to stray from one's path, to ignore strange voices, or to learn to listen to that worming fear in the back of one's mind. But thank you, friends, for joining me on this passage through the Crux. Till we meet before the end.